Hi guys, Athena's here, and this is your weekly medicine totem reading. These are medicine cards. The animals speak to us, give us lots of advice, lots of messages. This is just after the equinox, so we'll see what they have to tell us. This is for the week of March 22nd through the 28th. If you need to catch up, you can go to my previous video. Gave you a full spread. This is a collective spread. If you would like an individual spread, go to my website, athenas-body.com, and you can contact me for an individual reading. But collectively, this gives us a lot of messages, and we are all connected. So this is pretty helpful because it's an overall kind of reading where we're kind of sitting, where the collective is sitting. So, and then there's other personal things in your life that you might want an individual and more specifics. Those are 50-minute readings. Check it out. So we're going to start with a prayer. Only light, love, and truth for this reading for the collective. Only light, love, and truth come into this reading for the collective. Ooh, one wanted to escape already. Only love, light, and truth come in for this collective reading. Tell us what we need to know. What does the collective need to know? What is the collective? Okay. Our past, and this came up in last week's reading, was patience. Our present, butterfly, transformation. And our future is impeccability. It's also going into the void, the dark void. So the ant, if you looked at last week's reading, was about us being patient. There are gifts coming. We are being heard. Your wishes are being heard. We're being asked to be patient. Ants work together collectively also. So it's interesting, this is a collective reading and the ant comes up. If you looked at an ant farm or how ants work together, they kind of just mechanically do their end of the job. They communicate through pheromones. They know what the end result is, what the goal is of togetherness, and they just make it happen. So that was our past, is to kind of connect together. What are our goals as a human race? What do we need to do to connect up together and make those things happen? And to be patient with one another. We expect that everybody is at the same level. They're all seeing what you're seeing. And really we're all individuals, but there's common ground there. And coming together and working out that common ground is the most important thing. This is for our survival. Ants survive because they work together. Bees also work together. There's like hive mind kind of thing. And the ant is kind of like that. But really, they're just working towards a collective goal together. And they work hard. Ants are hard workers. If you've ever watched an ant hill or an ant farm, they're just constantly working for something that's higher, that's bigger than them, that they will all benefit from. So there is no selfishness in an ant farm, and there isn't one ant that just goes off by themselves and says, well, I'm just going to do this for me. So, excuse my voice. I do have some allergies, but doing pretty good. Our present is butterfly, and this is transformation. Interesting that this came up. We are transforming right now. This is a transformational period. We've had the last year, the equinox kind of marked a real new year, not January 1st. This is really our new year, moving into Aries, moving into action, moving us forward. And this is a time that we're all transforming. Also, you may have heard that we're transforming from carbon base to crystalline base. And that's tough stuff. That is hard on the body. And that's why I have an allergy flare up. It's trying to take me down. But I use all my good herbs and oils to keep going. And the thing about butterfly and its transformation period is You'll know it'll go from a larvae period, which is kind of that little wormy period, into a chrysalis, and then out of the chrysalis into this beautiful butterfly. I mean, gorgeous. Butterflies are so beautiful, and I have so many of them coming to visit me on the patio. It is definitely spring here, hence the allergies. And if you're seeing a lot of butterflies coming to your area, it's giving you this message personally. When a butterfly is in its chrysalis, that hard shell, and it is ready to transform into this beautiful being, this beautiful butterfly, it pulls in and it's using all of its energy to make that happen. Now, if you were to disturb that chrysalis in the middle of this happening, that little being would probably die. If you thought maybe you could help it, we'll do something to help it along. I'll crack open the chrysalis. I don't want to see it struggle to make it out of that chrysalis. It will usually die. And the reason why is it has to use its own life force. It has to use its own life force to make it out of that chrysalis into this being. That means you personally, no one can help you do that. People could be supportive. They can certainly not add more to your plate. They could certainly make you dinner or do something kind for you, but they can't take this process away. It is you and you alone that will do this process. People have kind of a hard time with that. We're used to being individual, like this is how I make money, this is mine, that's yours, these are the boundaries. But this is even deeper than that. This is that kind of like you're born alone and you die alone. And this transformation is you're kind of alone, even if you have a really great support system around you, or if you don't right now. It doesn't really matter. This is a transformation you have to make yourself. You have to pull in all the energy that you have, not leak it out to other people, and make that breakthrough through that chrysalis into this beautiful butterfly. And if anyone helps you too much with that, you'll become stagnant in the middle of that process, and possibly it's like a death. So the butterfly, actually, if you mess with that chrysalis, they die. You're not to mess with that process. They alone have to do that, and you're being asked to do that too. And it sounds kind of scary, maybe, but I think it's actually a beautiful process if you surrender to it and let it happen. Love the butterfly. It means better things ahead. You're coming out of that chrysalis. You're going to be this beautiful being, beautiful wings, fly, and flying. That is freedom for sure. Make sure you can see these. The thing that we are inspiring to be, our future, which has not unfolded yet, is the Black Panther. The Black Panther is the unknown, kind of like a black void. I mean, we're getting double duty here. Patience with everything that's going on, kind of. I also see this card as kind of being neutral, not getting too attached to these external forces, kind of being patient with everyone that's into drama or whatever they're into. You kind of detach yourself from that and know that there is a bigger goal for humanity at stake here. And then go into your own transformational process, which we are being asked to do. Taking care of the body is going to be a big one for that. Lots of rest, lots of water, good food, high vibrational food to support that. And then we're being asked to go into the void, into the unknown. And this could be scary for some people. We're used to certain systems and things operating in a way that we can count on. As we can see, those are deconstructing, they're kind of falling apart. They don't look like they used to. They used to be a source of ease, and they used to be a source of, this is what I can count on. And what was that old saying? You can always count on you're going to pay taxes and die, kind of thing. And all of a sudden, none of that's even there. It seems like it's fading. You can almost see it like a TV screen that all of a sudden is going fuzzy in and out, that you're like, do these people really exist? Is this really happening? And I would say that, as you are transforming into higher thinking, into a higher being, you're going to be asked to go into the unknown. You're going to be asked to go into areas that you haven't been able to count on before. And that was all an illusion in your head anyway, that you could count on these things in the first place. Not really there. They just aren't. So this will mess with your psyche a little bit. But if you go through, be patient with yourself and others, pull in, do this transformational process, and prepare yourself to go into the unknown. It's coming. Unknown. Nothing is promised. Tomorrow is not promised. We see that all the time. People do memes on that. Tomorrow is not promised to us, blah, blah. That is absolutely true. And so whatever these external structural things that you thought you could count on, they're not really there. They never were there. That was for your benefit as a childlike spirit to make it to this point. But it's not there. And it's becoming apparent that it's not. So going into that unknown. No fear with that. No fear. This is asking for a lot of trust and faith. A lot of trust and faith that you're going to be okay, that you're going to make it through this transformational period, that you're going to break out of this chrysalis. Don't let anyone disrupt that either, because it will kill the whole situation right in the middle of that progress. That's why you don't touch a chrysalis out in nature when it is doing its thing. You leave it be. The set of lessons that we're working through now is dear gentleness. Oh, to be gentle. I think this is really, we've been trying to be gentle with others, and the ant says to be patient. This is really to be gentle with ourselves. Right now, during this is, like I said, heavy on the body. It's really hard to do this, and you may require more rest, more water, more high vibrational foods, vitamins, your supplements, things that you need to do, and then to be gentle on yourself. We have maybe a lot of guilt. We could have done things differently. That was our past, and we have to be patient with ourselves and others that way. But now, just gentle. You have the right to be here. You have the right to be who you have been. How would you have known any different? You wouldn't have. So I think we're going to have to learn to be gentle with ourselves. Take some ease there. If you need to rest, go do that. Don't overload your plate right now. Don't be a yes person for everything. No good's going to come out of that. You won't be recognized for that. It's actually a time to pull in, do this transformation, prepare yourself for the dark unknown of life, and be very gentle with yourself. Forgive, forgive others. The lessons that we just completed, dragonfly, the illusion. Last week's reading was deception. This is illusion. Here's the dragonfly. Now, the illusion is fine. Sometimes we need to escape and meditate and dream and think about, other than our physical circumstances. But the illusion can also trick you into thinking that certain circumstances are there for you. Certain things can be count on other than what you can count on within yourself and trusting yourself. So we're coming out of this, like, trust what you're hearing and seeing. Trust us. We know what's best for you. Don't question it. That's an illusion. And that is the dragonfly. We're coming out of that lesson. I think it is pretty easy to see what's going on around you and know that something's not right. Something's terribly wrong. People are not being held to a certain standard that the rest of us are. It's an illusion. It's a made-up play that's been going on that has demanded your attention and your energy. And your energy needs to go to this transformation point. You have to prepare yourself for the unknown. You cannot mess around with this anymore. If this is still in your field of existence, get rid of it. Anything that looks like it's a lie or, It's led you to believe that certain things are there and they're not really there. This could be, our government, the media will tell you that certain things are a certain way. They're not that way. They're not. Because if you don't walk your talk, like which was in last week's reading, it's a big fat lie. I could present all kinds of things to you and say, this is how I am, and this is who I am, and this is what I'm going to do for you. And then I don't do any of that. That's an illusion. I created an illusion that I am going to do all that for you, and then I don't come through at all. And I think we're seeing that on a big scale. This is globally, not just this country, globally, that people are seeing through this illusion. This is what we came through these lessons. Hopefully you got these lessons. It was in your face. Now it's time to be gentle with yourself. Prepare for this transformation. I say, I have clues like hot salt, bath, Epsom salt, cleanse yourself, cleanse your body, take care. If you're suffering from allergies like I am, lots of herbal tea. I run the diffuser. I just rest. If I don't feel well, I just go rest. No one needs to give me permission to do that because I'm going to be gentle on myself. I know what I need right now, and no one's going to guilt trip me out of it. Don't let them guilt trip you either. If you need to cut back on what you're doing, do it. You have much bigger business happening. What's working for us right now is the porcupine, innocence. Oh, that's our childlike innocence. We're always hopeful. We always feel like people are going to do the right thing. When you were a child, you were like, of course, people are going to take care of me. I'm a baby, right? They're going to make sure I'm okay. And then we become adults and they're like, that's it, it's cut off. And it's not necessarily cut off. I mean, it's okay to have that genuine innocence and that, I'm looking forward to the future. This too shall pass. And we don't want to lose our childlike behavior that is sincere and just wants to be playful and enjoy ourselves here. We were meant to enjoy ourselves here, and something's gone terribly wrong about that through this illusion. Like, oh yeah, we're taking care of you. Sure. They are not. And if you get caught up in that, you could be screwed because it is in your face that you're going through this butterfly transformation and then into a dark void. This is not going to become easier necessarily unless you were gentle with yourself, took care of yourself, prepare yourself. A lot of people in the spiritual community know how to do that. They know how to pull in a little bit, take care of themselves. What is working against us this week? Snake, transmutation. Oh my God, we got loaded up this time. Transformation, transmutation. The snake is much more intense. The snake, this is definitely a Plutonian card. This is a Scorpio card. I would say that for a lot of us, we want to live the same old, and by the same rules. And that's going to be hard because it won't prepare you for this dark void, this unknown that we're coming into. Unless you take care of yourself, pull away from the illusion, okay? And get ready to transmute. This is an alchemy card. This is power, baby. Because a snake will shed its skin. It will get rid of all that old stuff that was holding it back. And it usually will go somewhere safe and quiet and molt that skin off. If you disturb a snake while it's molting, oh, God help you. It's in a vulnerable state, and it will usually take itself out of the collective and go do that on its own. Perfectly okay to pull in and do that on your own. This is working against us, I think, because people have a hard time realizing that the life that you once had is gone. You're just physically seeing the remnants of it. It's like the crumbling of Rome or Greece and all these ancient places. You always wonder, like, well, why did this place fall apart? And you're witnessing an example of that right in front of you. This is how things fall apart. And it's fine because it's asking you to transfer that energy, to transmute that energy, to pull that energy in, change it, and then what comes out is completely different, like this butterfly. You're about to make a huge change. This is really exciting, you guys. And so the things that I can ask, of spirit and everything is, how can I take care of myself? Be gentle with myself. Say no to anything that, I mean, if it's not for you right now, just say no to it. Okay? Don't worry about being judged by that. If you're too worried about being judged by others and you're not being gentle on yourself, I mean, are they going to come help you make this transformation? Are they? And if they do, and they want to crack open your chrysalis to make that go easier for you, they've basically killed you because they wanted you to behave in a certain way. I wouldn't look that direction at all. This is where your self-knowing and your own truth is powerful. It's important. You can't be an alchemist and transmute this kind of powerful energy if you're too worried about what other people think, what they want. This is not the time for that. There are cards that are that way, that ask you to give away, to be generous with your time. This is not that time. You pull all of this energy in for yourself. That we're being asked to do a lot. I would say if you have any kind of vitamins, you drink a green drink, or you were on a clean diet and kind of got off of it, now's the time. Anything that will support your body, make your body stronger. Sometimes it's rest. Go take a nap. I mean, do you need permission for that? I would be pretty upset if I had to ask permission to go take a nap. I know when I need to do that, and you should too. I mean, if you need to go rest, pull away from everybody, go read, go listen to music, now's the time. Prepare yourself physically. These are very also physical. They're spiritual cards this week, and also very physical. And I know you can do this. I know that you know all the ways to take care of yourself. You are an infinite being. You've done this before. This is not your first rodeo. So, I mean, don't mess around. If it's asking you to rest, up your vitamins, the best food, the best herbal teas, now's the time to do it. Normally, this time of year, I'd be on a steroid. And I know I don't sound very good, but I feel fine. And no steroid from me. I'm doing everything I can to support my body, support my mind too. You get hung up in your mind. That's the other thing about transmuting. All this information that came in, we collected all this information. Now's the time to transmute that energy into what you're going to do physically in your next steps. Prepare yourself to go into this dark void. Prepare yourself physically and mentally and emotionally. Make sure you're around the best, safest people. Last week, that was very apparent. Gather your resources. I encourage you to look at that because it led us to this point. So interesting that Ant was up here last week, and now it's in our past. And you'll find that with these cards. It will be in a past lesson. That's how fast these things move. We've already done that, and hopefully you did too. I hope this helps you. Write to me if you have questions and I can enlighten you in any way about what this reading means. I love the animals. I mean, they're just honest. They are who they are, and they'll tell you. Like, you need to take care of yourself right now. Prepare for the biggest transformation of your life. And I can't stress that enough. I know you're going to do great. I know this is just a reminder for you. And like I said, double up on all those physical supportive things, the vitamins, the good food, the rest. Do all those things. Don't add to your plate right now. Now's not the time. And you are going to push forward. You're going to push forward and prepare yourself for this unknown. The interesting thing is when you go into that unknown and come out the other side, you are renewed. You are renewed. This is working against us because we're resistant. We're scared. We need to stop with that fear. So you're an infinite being. You decided with spirit that you were going to come here. That means you knew you could do it. Don't let all these other illusions and diversions take you from what you knew you could come here and do. Now's the time. You're going to do it. I know you are. Write to me. Let me know how you like this. I'd love to do one every week for you. And check me out at athenas-body.com.